Are you involved with the Performance Matters movement to try and get more rights for voice actors in video games?
Supporting. I've been SAG eligible for a while now, but I have not joined yet, so I cannot vote on that matter. But supportive of. There's several issues I think, yeah, I agree with. There's a lot of stuff I can't talk about though. It's all very complicated. But I mean, I think Will Wheaton. I don't know if I've ever heard that joke before. I think Will Wheaton wrote up a very good post about it that explained it pretty well. That I sort of was like, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, like yeah, he pretty much covered everything. I thought it was very thorough. I was like, yeah, he's got it all down. That's pretty much what it is. But that's worth reading because I think he hit all those points pretty well.
And speaking of voice acting and video games, you voice Jinx in League of Legends, who is one of the most popular characters in the game from everything I've seen.
And I had to confirm that for myself because I was sort of like, I literally Googled like, what's the most played LoL character? And I was like, oh, Jinx is number 8. Okay, cool. So it's confirmed. I'm like, all right then.
And what do you think? Oh, speaking of Jinx.
Hi there.
So what do you think it is that makes the character so appealing to both cosplayers and gamers?
She's very different from a lot of the LoL characters, and I think people like that sort of chaotic neutral sort of alignment. If I may go there, because she's not chaotic evil. I don't see that, but she is definitely a chaotic alignment. I'm gonna go with probably neutral, just because she does what she wants to do for fun. And I think people like, if you like characters like Harley Quinn and whatnot, people seem to like that kind of character. And he's fun. It's someone I like characters who like what they're doing, whether it's horrible things or not. So I think I'm not the only one who thinks that way. Oh, done. Good night.
Is this your first time here at in this particular area of California?
Yeah, I've never been to Oakland. Thankfully, it's like an hour-long plane flight, which is lovely because so many times I get on a plane and I'm stuck there for 3 hours. So it's sort of a nice thing to be like, oh, we're done, yay. Yeah, it's sort of fun. I was like in the city and then through a tunnel and suddenly we're in suburbia and then suddenly we're in an industrial area and I'm just like, this place changes really fast. I like the suburb area just because I grew up in the suburbs. But the city itself is nice too. It's sort of. And then there's like, hey, there's a battleship, and I'm just like, what the hell?
Oh, there's also an engine. I'm sorry, guys. Let me check
Oh
no! Wow, that's kind of scary. Oh, okay. Maybe let's not. Seal, do not open to hangar. Okay, maybe.
Okay. You gotta redo this.
Right.
Just a little bit.
There we go. This is the best I can do. I don't think I can shut it in.
I think you're good as long as you don't close it all the way.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Let's not get locked in.
And that's how we not discovered that we were not allowed in until she opened that door earlier.
Right.
Trapped forever.
Yes, trust me. It'd be really scary.
People keep coming by, knocking on the door. Huh, guess that press interview was going really well.
Right,
here,
huh?
so hungry.
Right.
Oh, that's right. People like to eat.
Yeah.
It's okay, you're a guest of honor, we need you last.
Or first.
Ah!
We'd flip a coin. Alright, so I guess moving on to some of the other more famous and popular roles. I guess let's talk about the Madoka Magica anime, which, as we all know, breaks a lot of hearts, and your character is known for bringing on quite a few tears.
Yeah, it still hurts.
Alright,
It's not a bad hurt. I actually just saw some kind of list on Otaku Life, I think it was, listing the most pitiable characters. And 3 of them from Madoka were listed on there, and I'm just like, yeah.
Why don't you tell us a little about that experience, about just being a part of that anime? What was it like?
Oh, that's just, God. Like, I knew that was, like, a big thing in the anime world at the time, because it was still very new, but I'd heard buzzes about it. So I was sort of like, okay, cool. And when I got to audition for it, I'm sort of like, that was like, I didn't get many auditions at that time, so I was like, wow, this would be cool to get. So I auditioned for 3 characters, and I got Sayaka, and I was just like, alright, awesome. And I knew it was big, but I sort of didn't get how big it was going to be until I was in the middle of it. I'm like, this is a really, really good show. I get now what people were talking about because I had to go do my homework first, and I'm like, holy crap. So, yeah, and that was my first big anime role too, so that was gonna remember that in a special place in my heart. It makes me happy inside my heart hole. Well, for the most part, until episode 7 and 8. But yeah, and I love the character and I love the show, and it was really awesome to get that break fairly early in my career that sort of helped me get recognized. So yeah.
So what inspired you to become a voice actress?
I was an anime nerd. I mean, at first it was sort of just that thing of I'm only going to dub anime and nothing else, and then I sort of realized, well, if you want to be a voice actress as opposed to just someone who's dubbed an anime, you need to do more homework, and you need to realize there's more than just anime out there, because there is a difference. I think someone wrote that thing. It's like, do you want to be in an anime or do you want to be a voice actor? There is a difference. So yeah, I sort of worked on it more and did some studying and learned about all the other different areas, because I realized, yes, I did want to be a voice actress, because dubbing is awesome, and it is my first love in terms of voice acting, because I love it to death. And I'm always jonesing to go back and do it more when I'm not doing it. But I've realized there's a lot of other areas of voiceover that I really do like too, and even the ones I don't like, it's sort of like, this is a career, and sometimes you have to do the less interesting things to do your job. So I think you can find fun in anything if you try. Though I don't know, I haven't done industrials yet, and I understand that's like some of the most boring stuff you can do in voiceover. I'm not sure.
What's industrials?
Industrials are...
I'm just curious.
It's sort of like that really dry stuff, I guess, like there's industrials explaining medical terms and about the medical industry, and I know people have had to figure out how to say like super complicated like medical terms and diseases and stuff for an industrial. It's very, very informational, very straight stuff. And I understand that can be pretty boring.
Are there a lot more jobs that way?
I don't know about a lot more. I think there's lots of jobs in all areas. It just depends on what you're good at. Like me, I don't think I'd be good at industrials because I don't think I have the right kind of voice for it.
Okay.
But there's some people who do have a very good voice for it, but maybe they're not very good at like character work. It sort of depends, you know. I know there's voice actors you don't even know, like you would never know their name, but they are probably making like 5 times more than I will ever make in my lifetime doing commercials, just doing voiceover for commercials.
Yeah.
But no one will ever know their names for the most part because we don't tend to look those names up.
Hey.
Sorry, it's me.
That's okay. No, there's the engine's loud, so. Okay.
Oh, it's in here.
How has
The sign is very misleading.
Yeah, the sign's really
How has the fan community been to you so far in your time going to conventions as a guest?
Very nice, and I'm sort of surprised actually how decent the internet and fans have been to me, just in terms of the fact of that it is the internet. I mean, I have a lot of I have other voice actor friends who, you know, get panned for whatever reason, which is normal, you know, like, oh, you weren't as good as the Japanese, and oh, you were terrible in that, and oh, I don't like the way you sound, and I do see that, but I feel like I don't see it as much as a lot of other people tend to, and I don't know why that is. Like maybe I'm just lucky and I tend to fly below the radar for some reason. I don't know. I mean, one of the first things maybe I'm just okay with it, because one of the first things I did when they finally announced I was the voice of Sayaka and they released that first trailer, I deliberately went over to 4chan to see what they were saying about me. Because I figured if I can handle what they say, I can handle just about anything.
Hello.
There's something going on.
This is the press conference
What?
room. This is the press conference room.
Okay, so I
Yeah,
guess...
still the screening going.
Yeah, go. Yeah, we're duplexing a lot of the rooms. That's why. My apologies.
I was like, there's something
What was I saying? Oh, right. Yeah, so I, you know, and yeah, it was just that standard. I mean, also, because I still cringe at that interview video we did because I had not put on proper makeup and I put on a shirt that made me look icky and I was like, ew, I look awful compared to everyone else, you know, and they're like, I think there was a comment on YouTube that was like, she looks like a cat lady, and I'm like, aw, Hodor. But you know, I looked at all those, the negative words and just dumped all those words, and I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that, because it's like, you know, in the end, it's like, it's not personal. It's just the way the internet works. They can say terrible things about you, and you're just like, well, I know that's not personal because you don't know me, so okay. It's like, you know, it's sort of like, oh, Hodor. It's like, oh, sadness, my pride, but then I'm like, whatever, back to work. So, but otherwise, yeah, I feel like I don't tend to find it. I'm still wondering if, like, maybe I don't have haters because I'm not relevant yet. And when I finally get a really good hater, I'll be like, yay, relevancy. But, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Everyone, I guess everyone's just been really, feel like I've gotten a lot of support and not a horrid amount of hate. And that's, I don't know why that is, or maybe I'm just not affected by it, but whatever, it's cool with me.
Okay, guys, 5 minutes.
Alright, then, are there any roles that you've done that we haven't discussed yet that really stick out to you or meaningful to you, as an actor?
Well, I loved Metalia from Witch in the Hundred Knight because that was the first lead I'd gotten in a game. I think it's actually my first lead ever at that time. Yeah. And I was really psyched about that, and I'd been eyeing that game for a while too, and I liked the idea of that character because one, I got to stay in my lower register for once instead of having to go higher pitched, which is not something I normally get to do. And two, she was a horrible person, which was fun as heck to play, like, really, really horrible person, like, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, all through this game, you know?
Oh, wow.
I think most people figure out if they wanna keep playing that game within the first chapter. And people will understand why. If you play that game, you understand what I'm talking about. But, yeah, that was great, and that was a lovely special thing to me to get to do because I loved her to death.
Sorry for the interruptions, guys.
And Lizbeth was pretty special just because it was really exciting. Like, that show had exploded, and it was really exciting to get into that show. Such an insanely popular show like that. I was just like, oh my god, I'm a part of this big thing, you know, for an episode, and then they shove me in the back like they do all the other girls who aren't Asuna. It's like, dang it, why am I in the opening if I'm barely there? Curse you, Sword Art. So, I mean, Peacock, who was like my first role ever, and again was just special because I loved her to death, and it was like one of those characters that I really, really wanted, but you don't get the characters you really, really want because you jinx yourself if you think that way. Ha ha, jinx, because I am, and I win all the sodas. I love that argument. It's the best argument ever. It's like, you can't even jinx me because I am jinx, so I'll just give me the can of soda already. There's no reason to argue with this. But yeah, I love Peacock to death. I never own my characters. They're my babies. They go in my little stable inside my head to go play with each other. I'm not kidding. That's a literal mental image I have in my brain of just all my characters running around in my little mind stable and just like, go off, go play. Like, and now you jump in, yay. Is that weird? I don't know. That's weird. Probably weird, but a little weird.
We're all a little weird here.
Yep.
Alright, well, thank you very much for your time and for being here, and have a great time at KrakenCon.
Yay!
Thank you, guys. Thanks for being